everyone, welcome back to another one of my monthly forecasts. If this is the first time you're seeing me, my name is Angela Peterson and I am a psychic medium and shamanic practitioner in Sedona, Arizona. I do sessions both online and in person in Sedona, so if you're interested in booking a session with me, the link to my website will be posted below this video. Yes. Can I just say, wow? I don't know about all of you, but for me, the energy of March was very intense, and there have been a lot of changes happening in my life and in the lives of a lot of the people around me as well. But I suppose that is sort of to be expected when we have eclipse season, though this year I feel like is hitting certain ones of us a little more intensely than others. So we had the full moon lunar eclipse in the middle of March, and then at the end of March, which is coming up because I'm recording this before the end of March, March 29th, we will be having the new moon solar eclipse in Aries. So eclipses are all about bringing into our lives big turning points and also fated events that are meant to assist you in moving into a new state of being. Now, this solar eclipse that's coming up on March 29th is actually in the North Node. So what that means is that it is meant to help you line up with your true purpose, the reason why you're here. And it's also in the sign of Aries, and Aries is all about new beginnings. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, and so it represents the newborn or the child energy. Some of the traits of Aries are about taking initiative in your life, having courage, bravery, determination, self-assurance, and playfulness. This solar eclipse is all about powerful new beginnings. Some of the people who will probably feel the effects of this eclipse the most are all of the fire signs, which would be Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Now, I am an Aries with a Sag rising, and I can definitely tell you I am feeling this. Now, because it is in the sign of Aries, and Aries does represent courage and bravery, that means that this energy can really support you in moving forward and taking those leaps of faith that you really want to in your life right now. We are in a huge time of endings and beginnings. And I know I mentioned this in March, but I also mentioned in the beginning of the year that this is going to be a big year of changes. And I'm already seeing that happening in so many people's lives. This is a really big year for endings and beginnings. Now, the energy of this month of April is really interesting when it comes to these endings and beginnings, because what April feels like, it feels like a choice point or a crossroads for the collective of humanity. So many of us are being faced with big decisions. So just some examples of big changes that could be happening in your life. On the physical, it could be that you're moving to a new home, or you've just quit a job and maybe you're now gonna go travel, or you are entering into a new job. These changes could be emotional. It could be about changing or enhancing a connection in a relationship. Could be a mental shift of perception, or spiritually taking a huge leap of faith in your life and therefore becoming so much more authentic and true to yourself. It could be anything, and the decisions you make are really, really important this month. This is because we as a collective are going through a dramatic shift in consciousness right now. And it seems that April is an acceleration of this shift. So the animal that we got for the month of April, or I should say the insect, is a bee spirit. I love the bee spirit. It says sweet results await. Bees represent hard work, dedication, and they represent the collective consciousness because they have hive mind. And they represent the interconnection of everyone and everything on the planet. Bees are everything when it comes to our ecosystem. Their pollination is necessary for our food production and many other things. So because of that, bee is really a reminder to recognize and remember that we are all in this together. We are all working together, and every choice we make does affect the collective. Now, this is actually emphasized this month. This is why I'm saying the decisions you make this month are so important, because they truly are enhanced. The energy of every choice and every decision this month is enhanced in its manifestational power. Really, really be clear this month about every choice that you're making in your life, and recognize that this is affecting all of us as we move forward as a collective. It's going to affect the future that we head into. Now, there are a lot of people talking right now. If any of you watch any other psychics, mediums, or astrologers on YouTube or anywhere else, then you may have heard many of them talking about this sort of earth split, right? Where many people are choosing one timeline and many others are choosing another timeline. And I do really think that this month of April is sort of an enhancement of that energy. So I do feel like we're getting to this point where there is a sort of split in the consciousness taking place. And so the choices you make this month are going to really feed into whatever timeline you're going to be landing on. So I would be really clear within yourself this month of the kind of life you want to live, and make sure that you are daily making choices in alignment with that and becoming very self-aware. So this is a month to be like the bee and pollinate your life and the collective consciousness with every choice that you make. The other animal we got, or reptile, is the lizard spirit. Lizard spirit says, dream the world into being. So the lizard really asks you to slow down, maybe sunbathe on a rock for a moment and really consider the dream that you are creating in your life, right? Because basically what we are here in this simulation is we are creating the dream of life. And the lizard wants you to slow down and ask yourself, what dream are you creating? There is a sort of energetic pressure that the universe is putting on people right now. It's like now or never kind of energy. It's like jump on that train or don't, but make a choice now because the train is going. The train is leaving the station, folks. So jump on it if that's the direction you want to go. Now's the time. It's now or never. So thank goodness for Aries, because Aries is definitely contributing to your sense of bravery and impulsiveness even. Aries is definitely an impulsive sign. But for me, as my Aries shows up very much as an instinctual sort of impulsiveness. It's like I've known that I needed to do something for a while, and then all of a sudden I do it without really preparing myself or knowing I'm going to do it. Just sort of happens. So my Aries is beneficial in the sense that usually most of the time those big impulsive decisions that I make are very intuitively led. So I am grateful for that at least. But it is very important to pay attention right now. Like, what has your intuition been telling you about where you're heading and what it is that you've been needing to change in your life as well to really create the vision that you have for yourself and, really humanity. Now is a time to be really open-minded and really open-hearted, especially in your communication with others. Because I know that there's a lot of tension coming up in relationships right now when there are varying perspectives of what it is that's happening in the world and the choices that leadership is making. Now, one thing I want to say about this solar eclipse is that solar eclipses are actually really about outside in energy, whereas a lunar eclipse is about inside out energy. The solar eclipse is being affected by the things that are happening outside of you and around you. They are also specifically linked to leadership and changes when it comes to leadership in particular. So it could be that the solar eclipse does bring a lot of changes when it comes to the leadership in our countries. And hopefully those changes are going to be for the best. And always remember that you do contribute to the energy of that, based on just the choices you make in your own life. And remember too that with the bee spirit being the overarching energy of the month, that really represents hard work paying off. So if you've been really working hard toward a goal or a dream, a new home, a career, a launch, a relationship, it could be anything really. But if you've been working for so long on manifesting something like this into your life, the bee spirit could be representative of the rewards of that manifestation actually finally happening in the physical for you. I keep being drawn to the energy, like what looks like a sun. It looks like a sun behind the bee here. And this is a solar eclipse that is taking place. And so it is about the power of the sun. And the sun is about the outward manifestation in the physical. The moon is very much our emotional or internal reality, whereas the sun is our external reality. When I was journeying into the energy of the month of April, one of the messengers that came to me was actually a cougar, or a mountain lion, as we call it here in Utah and Arizona. The mountain lion represents personal power, and it represents the fire element, which is about courage and bravery. But what was really interesting about this mountain lion in my vision is that it started to sort of stalk toward me, and then I saw it get distracted by a mouse, and so it kind of caught the mouse in its paws, and then it started to bat it around like it was playing with it. And I just feel like that's a really interesting symbology of recognizing when someone is using their power to toy with you, or using their power in an abusive or misaligned way. Be really aware of the energies of manipulation, power play this month, and also pay attention to your own energy of how maybe you misuse your own power at times, maybe not consciously, but in roundabout ways of getting what it is that you feel like you need or you want. We tend to manipulate out of fear, so just be really mindful of those energies this month. When we come from a true place of power, then we don't necessarily feel the need to take power from others. So I picked 3 cards as advice for navigating the energy of this month of April. And the first card I got was the cat. So it's interesting, we have cat actually showing up twice, in the mountain lion and in the, looks like Siamese cat. On the card it says boundaries, independence, and healthy boundaries. Cats never do what they don't want to do. So it's really good to pay attention to being really in alignment with what feels truly right for you and what feels truly in alignment for you when it comes to empowerment, self-empowerment in your life. There's a difference between independence and interdependence. I think independence is sort of an illusion that we as humans have a little bit of a love affair going on with, independence, in this way of like, I don't need anyone. And those are mostly for those avoidant people out there. But the truth is, just like the bee talks about, we are all connected. And so eventually we will learn that lesson, that we are not separate from life. We are not separate from the things or the people, the situations and the circumstances around us. We can pretend that we are. And I think a lot of us have done that, getting really attached to our little selfish, sort of self-absorbed, narcissistic energy bubbles. We like to pretend that we're not connected and not affected by other people. But the truth is, there's always going to be a part of us that is, whether we are aware of that or not. And we also can't live that way forever without that bubble eventually popping. So I would say that in combination with these two, with the cat and the bee spirit showing up, it's finding a healthy way of relating to others, in this sort of interconnectedness, right? Interdependence means I still have a sense of self, but I can also connect with others and have empathy and compassion. But I feel still sort of centered within my own being, even though I am a part of the whole. People who have a love affair going on with independence are actually afraid of being consumed in other people's energy. So this month is really about being able to navigate the balance between these two energies and finding that place of interdependence rather than independence or codependence. So this is a really good medicine for those of you who do struggle with codependency. Then definitely invite cat spirit into your life to work with you, to teach you how to set healthy boundaries and to really stay in that alignment. Cats also represent intuition and psychic ability. It's like their little whiskers and every hair on their body is like a tentacle that reaches out and gathers information. So this month is about paying really close attention to those sensitivities, what you're feeling, what you're sensing, and all of that. I am going to be teaching a class. I'm going to put that in here real quick. I'm going to be teaching a class on March 30th. It's called Deepening Intuition, and it is an online workshop, and it's just going to be 2 hours from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Pacific time this Sunday. So if you are interested in that, I will also leave the link to that below this video. And another word of advice from Spirit, we have birth and rebirth. What I would like to say about this is to really allow yourself to relax into the birth that's taking place in your life, whether it's on a physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual level. Just really allow yourself to move with that energy and to ease into that energy. Let go of any resistance when it comes to that. We also have burden showing up as advice, which is interesting, but I think really what this means, so intuitive feeling about this is when you look at this card, you see aspen trees. Aspen trees are interconnected with one another, and you can't plant one aspen tree without planting another one because they normally won't survive without each other. So remember that burdens are made easier with others. When we are together, things are easier and things feel lighter too. So this is a similar message as the bee spirit of the interconnectedness, that we're all connected. They have an underground network, aspen trees, where they're constantly communicating with each other underground through their root systems. So that's a beautiful symbology of this sort of interconnectedness and the weaving of the energy that we're all a part of. So remember to ask for help this month if help is what you need. If asking for help is going to make your burdens lighter, then do so. And if you are able to offer your help to another, do that as well. We need to start coming back around and really connecting with each other in a way of really healthy community living. I wish you all the best for this month of April. Many blessings, and I will see you next month. Take care.